Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving deep into a topic that is, no exaggeration, one of the most important in modern health: chronic inflammation. It's this hidden force behind so many health issues we face. So in this explainer, we're going to build a practical, step-by-step guide to finally put out that fire for good. Let's jump right in.
So, let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? That feeling of just being constantly run down. Maybe your joints ache and you don't know why, or your brain just feels fuzzy, right? Well, these aren't just random signs of getting older or having a busy life. More often than not, they're signals from your body pointing to one single underlying culprit.
And that culprit is chronic low-grade inflammation. Now, this isn't the kind of inflammation you get when you sprain your ankle. That's acute. It's helpful. It's part of healing. No, this is different. This is a low-level immune response that's always on, always simmering in the background. The best way to picture it really is like a silent, smoldering fire inside your body, just slowly, quietly causing damage over time.
So how do we make this invisible fire visible? Well, we use a simple, really inexpensive blood test called high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, or hsCRP. And this number you see here, this is key. If your level is over 3.0 milligrams per liter, that's a red flag. It's considered high risk. This number is our first real clue, a direct measurement of that systemic smolder. Okay, so if your number is high, the immediate question is, how do I fix this? What pill do I take? But here's the thing, the answer isn't some magic pill. The real goal isn't just to stamp out the fire every time it flares up. It's about building a body that's so resilient it doesn't catch fire in the first place. It's about building a strong defense. So this is our roadmap. We call it the anti-inflammatory pyramid. And what's so important to understand here is how we build it. We don't start at the top with the fancy stuff. No. We start at the bottom with the biggest, most impactful layer, the foundational 4 lifestyle factors. From there, we add a core supplement stack. And only then, at the very end, do we add the advanced, targeted solutions at the peak.
Let's start with that base, because honestly, this is where the magic happens. We're talking about the 80-20 rule here. If you can master these 4 lifestyle pillars, you will get 80% of your results right here. Everything else is just fine-tuning. This is the real work.
First up, diet. And look, we're not talking about a single superfood. We're talking about your entire dietary pattern. Just look at the landmark Preventive trial, a massive study that found that a Mediterranean-style diet, it just crushed it. It reduced major heart events by a whopping 30%. This proves, without a doubt, that a diet built on things like olive oil, nuts, fish, and veggies is potently anti-inflammatory. All right, foundation number 2, sleep. And let me be clear, this is completely non-negotiable. The research is just so solid on this. Even a single night of bad sleep can cause your inflammatory markers, like that CRP we just talked about, to spike. Think of sleep as your body's nightly cleanup and repair crew. If that crew doesn't show up for work, all that inflammatory junk just piles up. Next up is exercise. And with exercise, it is all about finding that Goldilocks zone. Not too little, but also not too much. Regular, moderate activity, we're talking about 150 minutes a week of things like a brisk walk, a bike ride, a swim, that is profoundly anti-inflammatory. But on the flip side, pushing yourself into overtraining without letting your body recover can actually flip the switch and increase inflammation. And the final pillar of our foundation is stress. This is so crucial because psychological stress is not just in your head. It triggers a direct biological chain reaction, activating a master inflammation switch in your body called NF-kappa B. So when you do things like meditation, deep breathing, or even just take a walk in nature, you're not just relaxing, you are performing a legitimate anti-inflammatory intervention. You're turning that switch off.
Okay, so once that lifestyle foundation is solid, and only once it's solid, we can move up to the next layer of our pyramid, the core supplement stack. These are the nutrients that are backed by a ton of science and address very common deficiencies that can drive inflammation.
Now, this chart tells such a powerful story. Just look at this. Our ancestors ate a diet where the ratio of inflammatory omega-6 fats to anti-inflammatory omega-3s was pretty balanced, about 1-to-1. Now look at the modern diet. It's as high as 20-to-1. It's completely out of whack. This massive imbalance is a key driver of that smoldering chronic fire. Our goal is to use supplements to help get that ratio back down below 4-to-1. And that's exactly why omega-3s are so important. But they do something really cool and really unique. They don't just block inflammation like a drug does. They actually help your body resolve it.
They create these amazing compounds called SPMs, which are like the specialized cleanup crew that comes in after the fire to repair the damage and restore balance. For a real therapeutic effect, the research points to a dose of about 2 to 4 grams of combined EPA and DHA every day.
Next up in our core stack is vitamin D. And with this one, there is a crucial first step. You have to know your number. This range right here, 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter, this is the sweet spot. This is the optimal range for your immune system. The problem is most people are way below this, which is why testing your blood levels is the absolute best first step. You can't guess with this one.
And this really gets to the why behind vitamin D and its essential partner zinc. Get this. Vitamin D receptors are found on nearly every single immune cell in your body. It acts like a master regulator for your entire immune system. And zinc? Think of zinc as the gatekeeper. Without enough zinc, your immune cells can't even develop properly in the first place. Together, these two really form the bedrock of immune support.
All right, let's climb to the very top of the pyramid, the advanced natural solutions. So once your foundation is solid and your core supplements are in place, then we can bring in these targeted botanical tools to offer some powerful, specific support for turning down that inflammation dial even further. Let's talk about curcumin, which is the active compound in turmeric. There was this fantastic study that put it in a head-to-head battle with ibuprofen for knee pain. And the results after 4 weeks were amazing. The curcumin was just as effective for relieving pain. But, and this is a big but, it had way fewer gastrointestinal side effects. That makes it a much, much better long-term strategy for managing chronic joint pain.
And here's where it gets even cooler. We can make curcumin even more effective. You see, curcumin hits certain inflammatory pathways, but another botanical, called boswellia, hits a completely different one. So when you combine them, you're not just doing more of the same thing. You're creating this synergistic 1-2 punch that attacks inflammation from multiple angles. It's a classic case of 1 + 1 = 3.
Now, for a more advanced concept. With antioxidants, it turns out that timing is everything. It's not always more is better. During what we'd call a building phase, when you're trying to get stronger, you actually want to limit high-dose antioxidants. Why? Because your body needs that little bit of stress to adapt. But during a competition phase, say you're traveling, you're under intense stress, or you feel a cold coming on, that's when you deploy them for protection and faster recovery.
Okay, so we've built our entire pyramid, from the rock-solid lifestyle foundation all the way up to these targeted botanical tools at the top. So the final and most important question is, how do you actually apply all this to you? Let's turn all this knowledge into a clear, personalized action plan. This framework right here is your personal guide. It's super simple. You get your HSCRP test done, you find your number on the left, and it tells you exactly where to focus your energy. So if you're under 1, awesome, just keep doing what you're doing. But if you're in that moderate 1 to 3 range, your absolute priority is to double down on diet and sleep and really load up on those omega-3s. This turns a single data point into clear, actionable direction.
And look, if there is one single thing you take away from this entire explainer, please let it be this. You absolutely cannot supplement your way out of a poor lifestyle. It's just not possible. Someone who's only sleeping 5 hours a night is going to get almost zero return on their investment from even the best supplement stack on the planet. The foundation must come first. You have to honor the pyramid.
At the end of the day, that fatigue, that brain fog, those aches and pains, it's not just noise. It's data. Your body is sending you signals every single day. The only real question left is, are you ready to finally start listening?